Hi, I'm Chuck the Movie Guy. It's time to do another movie review. This time, Marvel's got a new movie, Guardians of the Galaxy. Joining me from another galaxy, Toronto, Canada, it's a faraway planet, is box office Bonnie Laufer-Krebs. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, Chuck. Hi, Chuck. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Oh, wow. I love talking Marvel movies. How about you?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a huge comic book fan, huge superhero fan. You know, can't get to me the greatest movie ever was, of course, The Avengers, and I have been so looking forward to this because I'm a huge Chris Pratt fan.
Oh, yes.
What a great guy. What
Oh,
a great
God,
guy.
the best. And, of course, he's married to Anna Faris, another
Yeah.
wonderful, person. They're such
Yes.
a great couple. Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
so I'm just so happy that he's not only in a movie because Moneyball was great for him, but
Yeah.
he's the star of this movie. Now,
Yeah.
what was interesting about Guardians of the Galaxy was I took my friend Sherry because my wife was out of town on a teacher retreat, so she says. But after the movie, Sherry says to me, "I'm not really sure what I saw there." And then I'll stop and I'll tell you what she said afterwards. So, Bonnie, tell us, what is it we're going to see when we go see Guardians of the Galaxy?
Basically, the super brief plot outline is we have our hero, and his name is Peter Quill. He calls himself the Star-Lord, and he's a space thief, and that's Chris Pratt. He steals this cool orb-looking type thing, and we got these bad guys who are out to try to kill him for it. As does an otherwise perfectly pleasant green lady named Gamora, who is played by Zoe Saldana. They're eventually joined by some other bounty hunters. One is named Rocket, who is a raccoon, a cybernetically, genetically, I don't know how you say it, enhanced raccoon.
Enhanced, yes.
Enhanced, yes. And a tree creature named Groot, and all he says is 3 words: "I am Groot," the entire film. And
Bonnie, wait a minute. It's not what he says; it's how he says it. But
it's how he says it.
Continue on.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. And then they're all after Quill for some money. And in the meantime, they all get captured by the police because everybody wants this orb thing, and they decide in jail together that they're gonna, they gang up together. They become the Guardians of the Galaxy because they see that this orb is worth something, and they want to do good. They want to give it back.
Bonnie, I'm a little confused.
Okay.
Because you named all the characters in the movie, but you seem to have forgotten maybe a friend of yours. One of the
friend of mine?
Yeah, you mentioned Groot, the
Right.
raccoon, the green girl, Chris Pratt, but you failed to mention somebody else.
Okay, I'm sorry. There was one other guy in jail. He is Drax the Destroyer. Thank you, Chuck, because I was all excited because he is played by Dave Bautista. And Dave Bautista, for you WWE fans and mixed martial art fans, he is all-time champ. He's amazing. He's just so great in the ring.
And Bonnie,
I got to meet him.
You got to meet him because he came to the planet of Toronto.
He did. He came down to our galaxy, and I had a great interview with him today. So we're going to just watch right now a few minutes of my interview with Dave Bautista, a.k.a. Drax the Destroyer.
Well, congratulations, and my goodness, you were fantastic in this. And first thing I want to ask you is, what was more intimidating, the first time you ever stepped into a ring, or playing a character that's a Marvel legend?
I've not been asked that. I think I have to be honest. I think the first time I stepped into a ring, because I think I didn't know what I was doing. I was at that point I was still I had real bad stage fright when I was a kid. I didn't like speaking in front of people. I didn't like being in front of people, and I was just the first time I was ever in the ring. That was my first taste of actually performing, and I was terrified to say the least. But stepping on stage for the first time here, I was nervous, but I don't think I didn't face any physical danger, so it wasn't that fear there.
Exactly, and then plus you're working with these great actors. I mean, you have, you kind of have love all around you. It's not like any egos really here with this cast.
No.
So what was it like to be able to work with Chris Pratt and Zoe and all of them? They're just so wonderful.
They are, and that was the cool thing about it is because I knew I was stepping up, and these guys were really huge name actors who were already well established. And I knew how big the movie was going to be, but there was no pressure, man. There was no pressure. Chris and I clicked right off the bat from our very first meeting, and then Zoe was actually the last cast member or last member of the cast that I met, and she met me for the first time with a big old hug. I mean, that was her first introduction to me. And yeah, so it really was. It was like really no pressure. And these guys, they just kind of accepted me like right off the bat. They knew I was new to acting and stuff, but they never made me feel like anything less than, you know, they're equal.
Bonnie, awesome as always. Now, did you have any advice for him on how to get in and out of your planet without going to jail or anything like that?
You know what? Here's the thing. You don't really have to give him any advice. He's such a really cool guy. But I did try to get some wrestling moves from him, and unfortunately, he wasn't allowed to get out of his chair and take me down. So that was a good thing,
Yeah.
But nicest guy in the world. It is these wrestlers. They're always so nice, The Rock.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Triple H.
Yeah.
Everyone I've interviewed, they're the nicest guys.
Hey,
so yeah.
Bonnie, when super excited for Guardians of the Galaxy, my friend Sherry had absolutely no idea. She didn't even know what she was seeing. She just comes to the screenings with me. So this movie's going on, and I'm watching the beginning, and we go back, and it starts off in 1988. And then we see the young kid, Peter is a kid, and then right as he's abducted, and then the movie jumps to the present day, and so we see him on the planet, and he puts in his Walkman,
Yes.
and starts dancing, and from that moment, I completely fell in love with this film. It sets the tone comedically, and just how awesome of a character and how awesome of an actor Chris Pratt is. But that whole scene, dancing on the planet, to me, I'm like, I don't care what happens after this. This movie is going to be fantastic. And it just kept getting better.
I agree. And it's, his awesome mixtape, which of course he was listening to in the 80s when he gets abducted. So you find out that it's the only music he's been listening to over and over and over. His mother had made him this tape. His mother had passed away from cancer.
I would think that the reason why it's so important to him in this movie, and he actually risks his life to get this tape and this music, is because it reminds him of his mother, obviously.
Of course. Yeah, exactly. And so, but you're right. I so agree with you about how it sets the tone. And he is just, Chris Pratt, he gets serious in it, but he's not overly goofy. He has some really funny stuff, and the interaction between him and the others, the Drax is great. He kind of he comes off mean in the beginning, but
one of the things I'll say about this is you're going to have to see this in multiple viewings, because there is so much humor and laughing that you miss a lot what's going on. There's just constant jokes, and it works. And I was laughing consistently throughout this movie and laughing hard. I love these characters. First of all, Groot. How awesome is Groot? And
that's hilarious because it's Vin Diesel is doing the voice of Groot. And, I was watching, I don't know, Jimmy Kimmel was hilarious. And Jimmy said to him something like, you are probably, have won the award for making the most money for saying the least amount of words in a film. Like, can you imagine just getting paid the millions of dollars and all he goes is, I am Groot,
And to me, the favorite thing was his interaction with his best friend Rocket. How he would say, he would just know what he was saying, but he would say, I am Groot. He goes, what do you mean you're saying? And he would keep adding on to how he would say it.
He would interpret it.
That's exactly what it's doing.
Exactly.
So much fun.
And Rocket the Raccoon is voiced by Bradley Cooper,
who does a sampled Bradley Cooper, because some kind of computer enhanced Bradley Cooper
voice.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's really a lot of fun. And Zoe Saldana is this green Gamora, sexy, kick-ass.
I guess he only
girl
plays characters that are that have blue or green and
color,
something.
blue or green, or I wonder what her next color is going to be.
Yeah. But so you got all these misfits. And then they all come together and, of course, bond together and they become the Guardians of the Galaxy. And, of course, you failed to mention one of our favorite people in the world, Lee Pace.
I was coming to that. Lee Pace. Oh, God, I just love him. He plays the real bad guy. Thorn is his name. And, man, he's so good. And, that guy's finally getting some due. I mean, we loved him from Pushing Daisies and the other shows that he did and other movies he's been in. And then, of course, right now he's in *Halt and Catch Fire*, and people are loving that. So, and then I'm not sure if he's got another superhero movie coming out or something coming out after this, but I think people are finally recognizing Lee Pace, which is great.
He's fantastic in this movie, and I love him. And he's so tall, and you can tell he's in real life he's tall, but in the movie, it really helps out for having a giant villain like that. I want to see more of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I want to see for more adventures. I want to see more humor. I just can't get enough of these people. I can't wait for it to come out in the theater so I can go see it again. Just what a tremendous film. Probably I was straining to think because I've had quite an interesting summer, but I think it's my favorite of the summer so far.
So far, so far it's going to make a pile of money this weekend. And I don't know about you, but the screening that we saw, and I know that the early press screening, you know, everybody waits in their seat for a Marvel film until the last credit rolls because there's always a spoiler, you know, or something for the next Marvel film. And I have to tell you that we sat right to the very end and there was no teaser at our screening. So basically for fans, there will be something at the end of the credits when you pay to go see
well, they
this movie.
did that for Iron Man. I remember when I did the Iron Man junket, and there was nothing at the end, but they added a scene because they wanted to hold the suspense. And I found out, too, and I did not know this, being that one of my favorite movies of all time now is The Avengers, but the final scene of The Avengers was shot during the press junket for the film when everybody was together. Did you know that? I
never knew that.
And I guess they rushed it out into the end there. So I guess the junket screening, they didn't get to see that ending, which I thought was I thought was kind of cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, what they're going to do, and I'm going to
what the teaser is.
I thought the 3D was great too as well. However, my wife hates 3D, and I'm going to drag her to see this, so I'm not going to tell her that it's in 3D. So don't tell my wife.
Well, but it was very subtle, I have to say. Like, it didn't bother me at all, and very well done. And you know, of course, Thanos, the big, you know, really bad dude who's going to be in Avengers 2, apparently. So that kind of sets a little bit up there too. So, you know, and they're saying, I mean, what Marvel is now committed to, you know, 10 more movies over the next 8 or 9 years or something. And they're all there's now for sure going to be another Guardians. There's going to be more Avengers. There's going to be, you know, there's just, Marvel has just locked it in. Like, summer movies are going to be Marvel
And I'd like
films.
to add one more thing before we give our rating. There's a lot of talk about Chris Pratt and how ripped he is and how great he looks.
Yeah.
To me, it it just looks like me. You know, pretty much. I don't get it. You know, they're saying he's got an 8-pack, but I'm like, this is what I see when I look in a mirror. I don't know.
You don't want to give away that you were the body double for this film, Chuck.
Of course not. But what's kind of funny, though, I have to mention, though, because if you're a fan of Chris Pratt and you've watched him on Parks and Rec, he always was this little pudgy guy, and now he's got an 8-pack. You know, he's the women are going to love that.
I agree. Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about it. It's just a lot of fun. It's hilarious.
All right, Bonnie, how many orbs do you give out of 5 Guardians of the Galaxy?
I'm giving this one 5 out of 5 orbs. How about you?
Same here, 5 out of 5. Can't get enough. Can't wait to see it again. Can't wait to own it. I want to see deleted scenes. I just want to watch. Yeah, bloopers. Over and over and over again. So,
I agree.
Bonnie, fantastic job. And then if you want to see more of Bonnie's interview with Dave Bautista, where are we going to see that at, Bonnie?
Just up on my YouTube channel, Bonnie Laufer, YouTube, and we'll hook you up.
Click on this link right there. So, okay.
And click on this link.
All
exactly.
right, thanks, Bonnie.